You're welcome back again to the sewing of our shorts. Okay, so as I said earlier, I went ahead to join the pocket side. Remember when I was drafting, I showed us how we're going to join it. Okay, and I went on to join it. Okay, after joining it, I stop stitch and sewed on top, as you can see. Okay, so next thing here is to measure the 2.5 that we removed. Okay, you see the way I turn it. So the fabric side is the side showing now, and the plain fabric side is concealed inside. So I'll turn it to the wrong side, and I'm going to bring it like this. Okay, front part, I'm going to join on the front part of the pocket. I hope you can see it, after which I'll turn it out like this. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the second part as well. As you can see, I pin it on the 2.5 inches I measured, as you can see, and I'm going to turn it inside out, and I'm go ahead and join. Okay, so remember, I have also sewn my dart. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the back. I went on to sew my dart. Okay, so when I finished cutting the front, I notched on the dart. Okay, but if you didn't notch, just subtract the 2 inches you added on the back crotch, then measure your dart lines and notch that part, becomes your dart. Okay, so I went ahead to sew my dart on both sides of the back. Okay, as you can see here. So the next thing we are going to do is to join the crotch line of the back. So I'm going to place it right side facing right side, and I'm going to join with 0.5 inches. You can as well join with 0.7 inches. Okay, so after joining, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in back our front part. Okay, so here it is, and I was done sewing it. Okay, so you can see I went ahead to sew it and also top stitch on it, and here this is what we have. Okay, so remember this fabric I removed from the crotch line while I was cutting. I brought it back because, like I said, we're going to use it for our zipper fly. Okay, so go ahead and measure 7.5 inches and mark there. Okay, and place it just the way I'm placing, right side facing right side. I'm going to join with 0.5 inches till where the 7.5 inches I mark is. Okay, after joining, I'm going to notch and top stitch and bring it back. Okay, so I was done joining, and I went ahead to notch and top stitch, as you can see, and here is the zipper that we're going to fix on it. Okay, so remember to stop at the 7.5 inches line on mine, because that is just what I did. So I'm going to place the zipper like this. Okay, front of the zipper facing the front side of the short. Okay, and I'm going to join on the side, okay, facing the right. Okay, are you seeing the place I'm showing you now, where my hand is? Okay, so that is the point where we're going to join. Okay, so make sure the zipper is placed on the joining between the two fabric. Okay, so I'll go back to my machine and join it, and I'm going to be stopping exactly on the 7.5 inch mark. So I was done joining, and I stopped at that 7.5 inch mark. Okay, so I'm going to flip it this way. Okay, you see what we have, and this is how the fabric is going to cover our zipper when we are done. Okay, you see the way I folded in, that is how it. So I'm going to bring the second side of the front. Okay, here we have it. All right, so I'm going to get a small piece of fabric, and we're going to use to sew that part as well. But before that, I'm going to measure that same 7.5 on this other second one, and I will mark it. Okay, so I'm going to bring the fabric I've cut out, and it's just 1 inch wide and about 8.5 inches long. Okay, it should just be longer than the 7.5 inches to mark. That's just the point. All right, so I'm going to fold it into two this way, and I'm going to sew it on the second part, stopping at the 7.5 inches mark. Okay, so I'll go over to my machine, and I'm going to do that. Okay, so I was not sewing it, as you can see, and I went ahead to notch and top stitch. So I'm going to fold it in this way, and I'm going to bring the second side of the zipper, place it on top, and I'll go over to my machine and sew it as well. Okay, so I will stop at that 7.5 inches as well. All right, so I was done sewing it, and this is what we have. So I went ahead to sew it on top. Okay, so the next I'm going to do is to fold this one in to cover the zipper, and I'm going to get my pin and secure it. Okay, so once I was done securing with my pin, I'm going to flip it to the wrong side, and we're going to join the remaining part of the crotch. All right, so you are going to join starting from where the 7.5 inches ended. that is where our sewing joining of the pocket zipper, sorry, ended. So we are going to fold it together like this, just as you are seeing me do, and you're going to join starting from that point where that joining of the zipper ended, then to the end of the crotch with 0.5 inches. Okay, so I was done doing that, and this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have, and let me just turn it and show you. Okay, so you see how I join it. I join with 0.5, as you can see, starting from that point where we attach our zipper. Okay, and I finished joining it. Okay, so endeavor to open iron after joining. All right, so I'm going to flip it on it to cover the zipper. Okay, I'm going to use the flyer to cover the zipper, and I'll pin it down at the waist side, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the wrong side, ensuring that the flyer, okay, the zipper fly is lying flat. Okay, then I'll turn it back. Then I'm going to mark on the shape of how I want the flyer to be. I'm just going to mark on the shape. Okay, it's zipper fly. You don't mind the way I'm calling it. Okay, so I'm just going to mark on it. Okay, trace it in a curved shape. Okay, so this is how we are going to run a stitch on. Okay, that is how our stitch is going to the shape our stitch is going to have. Okay, so I'll just go back to my machine and do that and bring it back. So I was done joining it, and this is what we have. You see, I sewed on top of the line that I marked, and that is it. The line is about 1.25. Okay, so this is so that you'll be able to pick on the our flyer at the back. Okay, so I went ahead to remove the pins and open the zipper. You can see how beautiful it's looking. Okay, and it is well covered by our zipper fly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to bring in the back part, and I'm going to be placing them front facing front. Okay, and I'll join. All right, so here is our back part. I went on to join the crotch. So endeavor to open iron the crotch lines of both the back and the front, all right, before you join. It's very important so that it can lay flat on your fabric. Okay, because I'm going to do that before I join. All right, so once I was done iron, I'm going to place it this way, front facing front. I'll go ahead and join. All right, so I went on to join. Okay, and this is what we have. All right, and as you can see, I went on to iron them flat. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to show you the inside. Okay, I join with 1 inch. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to fold in 0.5 inches. All right, and after that I'm going to use our hemming allowance to hem it down. So on the shirt part, I went on to cut out our button allowance. Okay, so remember when I was drafting, I told you I was going to use a different fabric for our button allowance, and that was why I did not make any allowance for the button on the main fabric. Okay, so I went on to cut out this velvet fabric. Okay, and I added my interfacing to it. I gummed interfacing to it so that it can stay in place. Okay, despite the fact that it doesn't, as in the interfacing didn't gum very well, but I'll still go over and gum it. Okay, I'm going to still gum it again, use my hot iron on it. Okay, so I got 2.5 inches wide, and the length of it is the length of my shirt. Okay, so I'm going to pin it down on it, and I'll go over to my machine and join it with 0.5 inches, because that's the reason for the 2.5 inches. I was done joining, and I went on to top stitch, and I also use my hot iron to fold in 1/4 of an inch, and this is how I'm going to be folding it, and I'm going to be sewing on top of it, ensuring that the sewing is on the velvet fabric, not on the main fabric. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that. So I was done doing that. All right, and this is our sleeve. I also want this velvet fabric to appear on my sleeve, so I went on to cut about 3.5 inches. Okay, and I joined with half an inch, and we are left with 3 inches here. Okay, so I went on to fold in 0.25. Okay, so basically I cut out 3.75. I joined with 0.5 and folded in 0.25. Okay, So I'm going to be folding again, leaving 0.75, and I'll go over and sew on top like this, okay? So just pay attention, you understand how it's going to look like and what I'm trying to do. All right, so I was done sewing it, okay, and this is what we have. All right, I did it first on the first sleeve. As you can see, this is the initial sleeve I made, and this is how the second one I'm just showing you is going to look like, okay? And as you can see, I went on to attach it to our shirt, okay? So remember the way our shirt, the back shoulder look like. So we are going to fold the sleeve, the armhole line to two, and notch the center point, okay? So when I was done doing that, I'm going to join the second sleeve. So I was done joining the second sleeve and also the button allowance on both sides, and went ahead to join the sides as well. So this is how the sleeve look like, okay? That was what I was trying to explain, and as you can see, the second part, okay? So the next I'm going to do is to fold the neckline into two and measure the round neckline. After that, I'm going to cut our collar, okay? So please, if you don't know how to cut collar, please check my previous tutorial on shirt collar, okay? I explain in detail how to cut collar, okay? So I'll go ahead and do that and bring it back for us to see, okay? So as for our short, I'm going to join it as well and also fix my waistband, okay? So I was done attaching my collar, and also fixed my buttons and made my buttonhole as well, okay? So this is our sleeve. I went ahead to also hand tack down the sleeve so that it lay flat, looking so cute, as you can see. All right, so this is how it look. All right, you can see the shirt is looking so cute and adorable as well, okay? So remember to watch my previous tutorial on collar if you don't know how to do that, okay? So I'll also bring in the shorts, and I'm going to show you how the shorts look like after I was done attaching my waistband and my rope. So I wanted rope for this short, and that was why I attached rope. So you can see how it look like, looking so cute. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate. I love you so much. See you when next I upload. Bye.